You mentioned two examples from the Lord of the Rings when it comes to courage, and you also said courage equals endurance. So you mentioned Frodo. You said what is best for Frodo or what will help him to grow in his career are irrelevant. All that matters is that he fulfills his duty. And for Aragorn, you said that he's willing to die, forgotten and unwept, in a
Mm.
black valley far from the living lands. He's willing not only to sacrifice himself, but to do so without thanks and recognition. Oh
Wow.
my gosh, so beautiful.
Poetic. I mean, at the very end, and the movie captures it as well. At the very end, as Frodo is preparing to leave at the Grey Havens and go off to the Undying Lands, he says, "Sam, we set out to save the Shire, and it has been saved, but not for me." And then in the book, there's another sentence that says, "It must often be that way when things are in danger. Someone has to give them up so that others may keep them." And that is, again, the strength and courage to, in a sense, be a kind of scapegoat, to be the bridge over which other people cross. Now, Aragorn has to go through the paths of the dead. And he knows that everybody that's taken that path before has never been seen again, right? So he wouldn't even be, nobody would even know what happened to him. But he knows he must do that. He goes and quite literally, he dies and resurrects. I don't know if you realize it, but the three main characters, Frodo, Aragorn, and Gandalf, all of them experience a death and resurrection. Aragorn, in a sense, goes into the paths of the dead and dies and comes out the true king, the messianic king, the return of the king. Gandalf literally dies when he falls into the pit with the Balrog. He dies, but he is sent back by Ilúvatar, by God. And then Frodo, in a sense, dies when he's in the cave of Shelob and is stung and is pale and dies, but returns to life. So they all, but for Aragorn, the king, he must face that which he fears. Now, I would have probably done the same thing if I was Peter Jackson. But Peter Jackson sort of cheats when he brings that ghost army to the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. Nicola, ghosts cannot kill people. They have no bodies. Okay, but I don't think any of us would have resisted that temptation. But when Aragorn takes the paths of the dead, he's not so much risking having a ghost kill him. Ghosts can't kill you. The real risk is of losing his mind in terror, the numinous terror of the dead or the undead, perhaps. And yet he faces that which he fears. It's like going into a dark wood. We face our deepest, unspoken, subconscious fears. And yet he comes out, the courage to go through, and the courage of his friends Gimli and Legolas to bear that terror. And you remember there's that wonderful, wonderful moment when Gimli says, what is this? What is this? An elf will go underground when a dwarf fears it. He's just horrified, but he still goes. He has the courage to face the dread, the uncanny dread of the unknown. That takes courage.